We have both runners taking off in the Ninja Village now. This is the starting point of the game.
Yeah, so effectively this is the tutorial for the game. The first thing that you'll see here is going to be the cloud step mechanic, which is it's used to gain a double jump.
You're going to see this double lantern jump kind of effect where they're jumping and slashing the lantern, and then as they're falling, they jump slash again to gain an additional jump midair. This will be many times throughout the run. And here the Ninja Village will be attacked by demons, and it is up to you, the last currently standing ninja, to face this threat alone.
So the developers have added a text box skip mechanic into the game. Effectively, this was specifically for speedrunners to stop us having to mash, saving our sanity and our thumbs. So shout-outs to Devolver. Shout-outs to Sabotage for that.
Sabotage has been very kind to us as players.
Sorry, I lost my mind for a second. Devolver are the publishers of this game.
It's okay. Ninja Village is just ending, and so the commentators' minds are warming. We have them going for Autumn Hills, the first platforming kind of focus level of where they're just going to be going right and doing some very tight movements. Although it's a simplistic level, it is very hard to get right where you want it.
Yeah, so this is quite a heavily optimized level, with it being the first real level in the game. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be seeing this level a lot. There's a lot of resets here.
Nothing major just yet, just making sure they can nail all these tight jumps. They aren't yet able to attack enemy projectiles, but they're going to buy an upgrade that will let them do just that right here, called Strike of the Ninja. They need 40 time shards to do so, and both runners have gotten exactly that number.
Yeah, so this will enable them to regain the cloud step off an enemy projectile, and also to parry as effectively the projectiles. So it'll prevent incoming damage, and you'll see it used a lot.
So far, very good climb. Runners are right in sync, going for the first damage boost of the game, where they're going to jump into a pit full of spikes. If they go left, they'll have to take a safer strat, and if they go to the right, they can jump to the end of the platform without waiting for the swing platform. So very good execution from both runners there. And I think Kuni has just taken the lead. They're still just neck and neck. Very careful here not to bonk your head on the saw blade, as spikes and saw blade type things, sharp things in this game, do 3 damage to the ninja, and you only have 5 health to begin. Here we see them going for that second damage boost through the saw. Both opting to go under the tower full of spike, as that looks very sharp and dangerous.
Yeah, there are some runners who will attempt to go for that, but it's generally not a sensible thing to do for a race.
Absolutely. Very good use of Cloud Step to eliminate that turtle while staying at elevation to land on the platform. Just one other example of the heavy optimizations you see in this level. Interesting trick coming up here. Kuni will have to jump up slashing that red guy onto the platform. Both runners make it
That's you going for a very tiny optimization there that Kuni missed. don't believe he ever goes for that one. While falling, we sometimes will strike the green guy on the left, enabling us to jump over the tree without hitting the ground first. It's a tiny optimization, but you'll see a lot of runners go for it.
Plus, it just looks so pretty. Alright, climbing the last kind of cliff into the end of Autumn Hills here. Both runners have more than 130 time shards. They'll be able to buy a shuriken upgrade, which lets them get a 1 cycle on the next boss. And they'll be able to buy Second Wind, an upgrade that lets them boost through and have a shorter knockback period.
Enables instant recovery by pressing jump.
Alright, so running forward and holding slash, ducking under that first wave of leaves. Kuni spams the shurikens into the bush's face and takes out the golem before he reforms. Cole at sea as well. So no second phase bush golem for these runners. Very impressive Autumn Hill times. Now both are moving into Forlorn Temple, where a bridge to the temple has been destroyed. So we'll just have to fall into the catacombs.
This is the one and only Phobkin that we're going to see. His name is Necro, and he's scared of death, so he lives in the catacombs.
Brilliant. Who put him there?
Thierry. He's there for story reasons which aren't actually explored within the game. So here we've got a lot of tight platforming. This is where the game starts punishing mistakes. We've got crushers, we've got spikes, and we've got cycles. This is the first place we're really going to see cycles. The cycles are on a room timer, so you can reset a cycle by leaving the room and re-entering. They're not on a global timer, as you'd see on some of the games.
Yeah, that keeps this run pretty consistent. You kind of know where everything's going to be. It can be very nice. In addition to the platforms and spikes trying to kill you, there's this creepy guy in a cape following us around, throwing monsters. His name is Rux. We'll see him later, but we want to say hi to him every time we see him, so that he goes on his platform in the boss fight. Oh, spoilers, he's the boss. Right here you see good crusher cycles for Kuni. Cole missing just 1 cycle, but carrying on. And another crusher skip. It's very nice.
So I don't think... Yeah, Kuni's not going to go for the low damage boost here. There are 2 damage boosts that you can take. We used to believe that the option was one or the other. It is possible to take both, but it only saves around a second.
Yeah, ultimately both runners taking the safest option, which is going to be smarter for this race.
So I believe this is our first taste of Wizrobe.
I believe so. And here's Ruxton with 3 more.
So their initial spawn positions are consistent, and then they move randomly after that. So when you see them teleport, their finishing positions on each teleport will be random, but they will always spawn in exactly the same place.
So you see the same concept used by both runners there, is they stun one, kill the other, and then they wait to see where the third one goes while killing the stunned guy. Not too bad positions. Oh yeah, that's spike damage boost, good call. And then a really clean vertical ascent room.
Yeah, that's the first real climb that we're going to see. It's just a tiny little taster of what we're going to have to come later on in the run.
Kuni made a almost perfect crusher skip room. In Atsy's screen, you'll see him going into this room. If he makes a mistake, he won't be able to skip this crusher, so let's hope he does it. Very clean, he's going to make that cycle. Hi, Ruxton.
Yeah, so Ruxton has 2 spawns. He can spawn where he is now, or he can spawn on the top platform, and we want him to spawn on the top. It'll be faster. So Kuni gets the slow cycle.
This will be interesting to see for Atsy.
So from those 2 spawn positions, we know where the cycle will take Ruxton.
It's very good.
So there's no magic in predicting where he's going to be next. So Atsy with the good luck, that's going to take him a little closer back to Kuni.
You see the runners are much closer. Kuni goes into Bamboo Creek, kind of vacation level of this zone.
Yeah, so we've got more open platforming after the tight and close Catacombs platforming. This is really the difficulty, the difficulty spike for new runners. Casually, it's around the same difficulty as the rest of the game. There's not a huge ramp up, but when you speedrun this is the one that will determine whether you stick with the game or not.
I think that's fair to say. You don't have major upgrades yet, so it's solely up to your base fundamental and what you can make the ninja do with little to nothing.
No, we won't be singing the bamboo song, mostly because no one knows the second verse.
That's right. Once we figure that out, we will be able to sing for the entirety of the stage, and no one's ears will be safe. But for this day, we see Atsy going through a hooded figure with a spear. We'll only see him one more time in this run. But he is a major plot character.
No, second verse is not the same as the first. We know that Rainbow Dragon Eyes wrote this one while singing about Chinese food, but then later he was singing something to his dog, but we're not entirely sure what that is.
So yeah, into skip. Kuni just needed a really easy skip up an elevator, and Atsy decides not going for that. Yeah, it's one of the most inconsistent kind of things the top runners can go for. And it all kind of comes down to getting a wall kick off of the platform after you jump from the green guy and hit a projectile midair.
So that one room that Kuni just finished, just before the save point, that is the one room that will decide. It's kind of your big test on double lantern jumps.
This level goes by so fast. If you blink, you'll miss it.
Alright, so 265 time shards, and Atsy's got...
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's going to have 260 odds. So we're looking for 270 entering this next shop. We'll get our next mandatory upgrade. You didn't actually mention the climbing claws, which allows the ground walls, which you've seen a lot of. Now we've just got the wingsuit, which allows us to do this.
Just looking around, it just sort of felt like I should be able to do that.
So we can ride these wind tunnels, and now we can glide over pits. So the game puts intentional obstacles in the way that you can't get past, and then gives you a tool to get past it, so you're forced to go and speak to the shopkeeper.
It's diabolical, really.
So we saw the runners buy another 2 upgrades. So that's Currents Master and Aerobatics Warrior. Currents Master we will see once towards the end of this level. It allows you to get a boost underwater. And Aerobatics Warrior you're going to see a lot, particularly in this level and the next. It allows a downward strike. While, sorry, Kuni crouching on the hay there.
We have a tradition to crouch and jump when the big crunched hey and the music plays. It's all the developers saying hey. We'll hear it again at the end of the level.
Yeah, so when gliding, we'll get a downward strike from that second upgrade. You can't buy the Aerobatics Warrior without getting the Currents Master.
I'm sure we would if we could, but we're happy to have the Currents Master for this one small spot coming up.
There it is.
Keeping
That's
his momentum out of the water, Kuni's able to glide and go fast for about 2 seconds. Still very useful to have, and the wingsuit attack is absolutely necessary for going fast in Crags and Glacial Peak, the 2 ascent levels.
Well, that aerobatics warrior, if you don't have it through Quiltrum Marsh, you will miss it.
Yeah, it's definitely... it's a different ride.
We used to buy it at either this shop or the first shop in Quiltrum Marsh, which wasn't a comfortable ride. Alright, so first we're going to see a damage boost, then 7 hits on the core in the center. And then the runners will rush to the side of the room, where we'll see an air current now, and throw a shuriken just to make that... to make it up to the top faster. Allows them to do a lot more damage.
Yep.
So we can do this first phase in 2 cycles instead of 3.
Takes very good care not to hit the shoulder of the golem when jumping down, so that can keep you on the platform and sort of waste your damage. And then he just takes damage, goes right through the fist to whale on that smash ball as fast as possible. Now going into the second phase, he's just flying around.
He does end high, but he's far enough ahead that that's not going to be a huge difference. So what you saw there was an excellently executed phase 2. It went by so quickly.
It's very clean. There is RNG here. He could go to the left for Atsi, and that would be a faster pattern. And he goes to the left, and just right away, Golem is dead. Pretty good screen position, too. He'll have a little bit less time to float down to the cutscene.
Okay, so here we have Quiltrum Marsh. This is another open level. Grotto was another closed level. It does seem to alternate between these open and closed style platforming, at least for the beginning of the game.
I'd say that probably checks out all the way through linear.
So what we're looking for in this room that Kuni's in is to never let go of the right direction.
That's
it's
correct.
The longest room in the game. It's the only game. It's the only game. It's the only room that's got 2 checkpoints.
I believe it has 3.
No, it has 2. So we're going to see a manipulation of the bird there, which allows them to get to the top without doing this back and forth zigzag.
Very clean jump over those vine spore thingy. They're sharp, they have thorns. Clean use of shuriken to open the gate right as the mushroom jumps over it. Atsi using the bird to his advantage and doesn't have to wait for fire.
So if you look carefully during this part of the song, you can see the mushrooms singing along in the background and the lanterns.
It's not terrifying at all, really. Great shuriken technique from Kuni. I expect we'll see Atsi going for the same thing.
A lot of these tiny optimizations are so difficult to pull off until you've had so much practice.
This climb Atsi did alone is very technical and well done. As is just that whole string of ascents feels really good from a platforming perspective.
So just intentionally taking damage through those mushrooms and
beautiful shuriken.
They're totally not boomerangs at all, by the way. If you've played Mario at all.
No, that's not what they are. And we in the next level we'll get a rope dart on a grappling hook or a hook shot. Kuni makes it around those spikes. Very, very brave. Obviously, if his jump was a little bit less clean, he would just go right into the spikes and be dead. Atsy going for the damage boost as well, although looking very healthy, so not much risk. We have Queen of Quills.
So we're using position and damage manipulation. Basically, we're trying to do enough damage to skip through one of the phases, which is successful there for Kuni.
He's enraged her, so she uses the whip, and Kuni wants that. He's going to keep her in that position and deliver more hits and just duck under the whip whenever she gets close, then throw a shuriken from the door to finish the fight with the best position.
So if the runners die before this, the end of this boss fight, there is a slightly longer cutscene. But we shouldn't see that. So we're on to Searing Crags. This is my favourite level. It's got more technical platforming, lots and lots of climbing and vertical sections, and the most important is the rope dart. So we're presented with a wall that we can climb up, but then a gap that we can't get over. So we have to grab the ring with the rope dart. And now the game's broken.
Very good small conveyance. Yeah, so now we go fast. We all hate this platform. This one Kuni just jumped off of. It's a very touchy jump.
So what you saw there was him leaving the room, well, attempting a couple of times to leave the room, but then successfully leaving the room and re-entering to reset the cycle.
Going left and when you're trained to go right can be very difficult. At least initially. Jump slashing that stalactite and floating right, Kuni is able to skip up into the ceiling into the next room.
Yeah, we're going to see a few of those. Just little optimizations going up the wrong direction. So we'll see another one in this room. Instead of going all the way to the right, just jumping up, just casually floating up through the level.
One of the nice things about the Messenger is that there are so many ways that you can do many of the rooms. Like, it's not always that there's one most optimized path. So we see Atsy going for a variation there that is about as fast. I don't know the exact timing.
Yeah, so what we didn't mention is that the runners have both bought a health upgrade as well.
That'd be the green orbs sometimes enemies will drop now.
Yeah, so they have one extra health as well. That's going to come in very handy in the final level of the run. Alright, that was Crags.
Very good, so on to Colossus.
Don't like Crags.
Yeah, many people hate Crags for the RNG patterns of this boss fight. You have to get both bosses, Kolos and Suses, to 1 HP. And they'll swap out if one gets too wounded.
And this is what we didn't want to see. So you'll notice that Kuni's actually passing through these bosses. That's using iframes that are afforded at the end of the rope dart animation. And we will see that abused right at the end. So they're going to wait there, and once that little thistle has grown, they're going to put that in their stew and eat it.
They're going to wait for a while. Shovel please in chat, Sour please any dancing emote. This is Glacial Peak. This is kind of where all your skills tie together and the devs really test what you've learned.
Yeah, so in this level, much of the The softer attitude has been cast aside, and you will fall into spikes or bottomless pits if you mess up. So we are seeing the most technical platforming of the game here.
Of course, Kuningas makes this easy. The first trip to Glacial Peak is quite an adventure, to say the least. Seeing good use of that bird skip from both runners. Just bouncing off the bird's head to go right through the floor. And just rope darting everything in sight. Obviously, in addition to the iframes, whenever you rope dart something, you go fast.
Yeah, you do get a slash at the end as well. Kuni not getting the swag strat there. Going for it again, though. It is very slightly faster.
And it looks better. So yes, excellent swag strat. Will he go for the dragon strat? He goes right through the platforms and rope darts that Medusa. Very risky, because if he hits one of those platforms, it'll pull him to it and dead stop his climb, and he'll just die. But that didn't happen. Let's get some respect in chat for dragon technique. Another runner going for that little wall kick in Atsy's. Not a very consistent trick. Atsy decides to save his life. I respect that. And then arguably the most fun in this level is this final climb at the end. Very nice.
Alright, so Kuni's just entered Tower of Time. This is puzzle platforming, with more emphasis on platforming than puzzles. So you'll see there's these lasers now, they do 4 damage. So they are, I believe, the most dangerous obstacle in the game.
Well, not counting pits and Crusher. Absolutely, in terms of taking damage.
Yeah.
Very clean transition through that room. Kunig's going to hit the crystal and float down, and then skip the cycle by jumping to the next platform, rope dart. But the Wizrobe is in good position, catches him, so he goes around.
He's probably gonna... No, he didn't take damage there. Having to wait out the cycle, though.
Will he go for it? No, there's a very risky play in this room that is not advisable with 4 HP.
Don't worry though, we're going to see something amazing here. Just skipping the
Right
cycle.
there. That was absolutely clean. You see a small crystal abuse where he's actually slashing a crystal through the wall. This happens like 3 times in this level.
It happens twice in 8-bit. We do see it abused a lot more in the any percent run. So Kuni didn't have enough damage to take the damage from the laser itself, so he took the 3 damage from the spikes and used the iframes to skip his way up. Atsy's not looking too healthy at the moment.
I think he's gonna go for it. No,
Okay.
playing it safe. Again, I respect that. Definitely.
Him thinking about it. Even made the jump and then decided to stop at the last second.
I think if there's any doubt like that as you're approaching a trick, it's better to just not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kuni going for a really risky skip through the using 3 damage boosts. Or I guess it's only 2 damage boosts, but 3 rope dart connections. He gets through the lasers, and Atsi jumps too early into a laser. That's devastating.
So Kuni using that slash through the wall to skip the last 2 rooms of Time Waster Room. I guess the last 2 cells of Time Waster Room.
It's about a 6-second save. Meanwhile, Atsi has seen our tiny green demon friend Corbel, who has stolen 2.6 seconds of his time in text, as well as setting him back with a death. But if it wasn't for Corbel, the messenger would be dead, so I suppose we're still grateful. Very good save from Atsi, as Kuni is facing off with the Arcane Golem. Take it away.
So, Arcane Sigma, if you've played the Mega Man X series. So basically, we're just looking to maximize damage here. We're abusing the absolute hell out of those iframes afforded at the end of the rope dart. We call this the 2C special after its founder, discoverer, coiner,
Red Panda. Very well done from Kuningas.
Yeah, that was beautiful. So Atsi just going through Time Waster Room now.
Not yet over for him. He nails that Time Wasters.
Yeah, it's a lot more difficult than it looks. It's very easy to miss it and slash the crystal above you and go back.
It is. You see mistakes even for Under's experience with almost surprisingly often. A lot of these tricks look like butter, but then in execution, you find out their intricacies. So let's see how Atsi decides to attack the Arcane Sigma. His 2 main philosophies being the rope dart and slash the outside, from the left, or to go right in the middle like that 2C special we were talking about. You could also hang out outside of the orbs and slash and jump safely, but it is slightly slower.
So one thing we don't want to see is we don't want to see him hit the ground at any point.
Never, yeah.
Because that will force a different cycle, which we really don't want to see. There are several cycles that they can get.
Outstanding special from Atsi.
All right, GG to both the racers there.
Kuni should be joining us shortly. Atsi said before the race his Discord was having trouble. So unfortunately we won't be able to interview him, but very well done, Atsi. That is still very, very impressive sub 33.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, my dude. GG.
Hey, thanks. GG's ATC. That was an insane run.
Yeah, so we've just got a message from him because he's not going to be able to join us. He's just said, GG, thanks to Speed Game for the tournament and for commentary. Yeah, so that was beautiful.
Absolutely incredible performance. Just popping off a sub 31:30.
That was, let's say, once again, a roller coaster of emotions because RNG wasn't trying to be on your side, not even once this run, once again.
No, but an outstanding case in why RNG doesn't necessarily kill your run.
Yeah, that's really true. That's true.
Still heartbreaking to see those things like low Ruxton and body slam on Cole. Why?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the worst case, the only part where I got tilted during the run was the wizard, the very first wizard to meet in Tower of Time. Like, they always have to block your entrance. Like, there's no other option. It always happens.
they're always in good position. It's uncanny, truly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Gonna have some people within the chat.
Nufakas moving to ban Wizrobe. We'll see how Terry thinks about that. Maybe we won't see any in the DLC, but for now, we must be brave. I have to say that was a very good execution on Into, among other things. We saw something that at least I've never seen before. Atsy did in early autumn, where jumping for the 3 shards, he kind of hit a turtle and jumped instead of going down to the bottom of that tree, you know, and jumping over. Hard to describe, but neat technique.
You mean turning around and backslashing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really fresh technique from him. Like, shout out to ADC for sure.
He's taught us that we can exploit their ability to slow you down when hitting you by instead of attacking them from after you pass them, which causes them to slightly accelerate.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to say?
My brain hurts.
Considering the fact that Andrea ATC didn't have much time to practice for the tournament overall because he had other side projects such as Super Mario 3 and Super Mario, the classic one for NES for ESA. So he had a lot of things to deal with, and considering the performance he gave during the tournament, I think it's really remarkable. So don't give up, guys. Like, I believe in you. You do your best. It was a fun race. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting. Thanks to the runners for being part of the race, being part of the tournament. Thanks to the devs for being so awesome, being such a great part of the community. Thanks everyone for watching and supporting the Messenger community. Check out the speedrun.com page and the Discord and get involved.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you have a good day.